So a little background on myself so you don't think I'm completely full of crap. I've been a runner since I was about 12 years old, all the way up until now. I still run almost every day, multiple times a week at least. So I ran all the way through high school and in college. And when I was 16, I started lifting weights. I started at 116 pounds. I'm now 136 pounds at the same height. I have gained a ton of muscle. I'll insert some pictures above just so you guys can see over the years. So I was actually a distance runner and then I transitioned into more middle distance, but I was not a sprinter. I will keep that clear. I was not a sprinter. I was middle distance, long distance. For some reason, there's a number of people avoiding running at all costs because they think it eats away your muscle. I will be the first one to tell you that no, absolutely not. Not all running shrinks your butt. Not all running causes you to lose muscle. I think that's a complete myth. Okay, so think about it this way. You can't spot reduce, right? I'm sure most people have heard this before. So it's the same thing with running. When you run, your butt's not just gonna shrink. Your arms aren't just gonna shrink. If you are in a calorie deficit, that's what causes you to shrink. If you're burning more than what you consume, that's what causes you to shrink. It's not all gonna come from just one place, it's gonna come from overall. A lot of that is based on genetics and based on where you hold fat, where you have muscle originally. The actual shape and look of your glutes is genetics. If you wanna keep that nice muscle tone, that nice round glute look, strength train. There's a number of strength training exercises that you can do 1 to 2 times a week that's going to help build muscle in that area and keep it, okay? So if you do this multiple times a week, the more it's gonna grow. The more volume and the more muscle building exercises that you do, squats, deadlifts, hip thrusts, to name a few, the more muscle that you will build. So when I was running before, I remember I wanted to stay skinny and lean because I was light on my feet and I needed to be if I wanted to be fast. At least that's what I thought. So I actually wouldn't eat that much. My calorie intake was pretty low. Not to mention I wasn't so focused on strength training, so I didn't make it a priority. I made running my priority, not strength training. So if you make strength training a priority, mix in the running for actual fat loss and whether you want to become a better runner, it's awesome. It's great. Do it. You have to eat enough. If you're running and you're running hard, whether it's outside, on the track, you're gonna be burning a lot of calories. It's not like the bike where you're sitting down. Running, you're using all your muscle groups. You're using everything and you're burning a ton of calories. So when you keep that in mind, yes, you have to be eating more. So my mistake was I was not eating enough. And so I literally shrunk down to nothing at one point, and then I started eating a lot more. I ate carbs, my protein was so much higher, and that really helped me recover. It helped me keep the muscle that I had, and it helped me keep building muscle as I moved on. But hold on, not all running is created equal. I'm not telling you to go out and run 8 miles every single day, because yes, you're gonna be burning a ton of calories, you're gonna be using a ton of energy that you can put towards muscle building and strength training. Not to mention, if you're running a ton, that's a lot on your body, you're not gonna get the recovery you need, especially if you're gonna go to the gym and lift weights. It's a lot on your body and you won't be able to recover properly. Recovery is key. Recovery helps you build muscle. So if you put all these things together and you really truly think about it in that way, it helps you realize what you should and shouldn't do. So let's talk about HIIT training. What is HIIT? High intensity interval training. This is short spurts. Such a weird word, spurts. Short bursts of high intensity exercise where your heart rate shoots through the freaking roof and then it comes back down. You get little rests in between. So what I like to do is I go on the treadmill, I go to the track, I do sprints, whether it's 30 seconds, 45 seconds, a minute, and then you come back down for a minute or two. Sometimes I'll even go 30 on, 30 off, however you want to do it. You can use exercises for HIIT as well, but right now we're talking about running. So one of the best ways to develop your glutes through running is uphill sprints or incline sprints. HIIT style. So you're gonna sprint up a hill, maybe jog down or rest at the top, sprint up a hill, jog down. This will really work your hips, really will work your glutes. But you don't necessarily want to do HIIT every single day because again, recovery. You need time to recover. If you're doing all this HIIT, you're doing all this weight training, your body will not be able to recover. I'm telling you, I've learned the hard way by getting multiple stress fractures and overtraining to the point where I was not building probably any muscle at a certain period of time. I hit a full plateau and it was not it was not good. So rest is key for muscle building, and always keep that in mind. I know I've said it a trillion times by now, but for real. So I do still recommend mixing in lower intensity endurance-based runs in between the high intensity stuff, especially if you're someone who wants to lose fat or stay lean. It doesn't mean do HIIT every day. You need some low intensity stuff in between. So what I recommend is going for a nice run outside. You can walk on an incline on the treadmill if you want to. That's actually a great thing to do. It's lower intensity. You can do the Stairmaster, the elliptical, you can do the recumbent bike. It's awesome. So you need to do these cross-training type activities if it's not, fully running. That's lower intensity that will still spike your heart rate, cause you to burn calories and kind of burn fat as well, but it's not so hard on your body. So I recommend doing basically a couple days of HIIT, a couple days of lower intensity, or you can just do a couple days of HIIT and then take off cardio on other days and strength train. That is key. Do some plyometrics in there too. That'll keep your heart rate up, really mix it up, and that'll keep you going. Basically, the takeaway from this whole thing is you're not gonna burn muscle unless you're not intaking any food. As long as your diet's on point, you're not eating in such a low deficit that you're actually, hurting yourself, you're fine. Strength train, that will give you the foundation. And do cardio, run all you want, man. Like, I freaking run, and I don't do short runs. I'll go on a 5 or 6 mile run a couple days a week. I love it, and I'm still building a ton of muscle because my diet. I'm not eating like bird food. I'm eating enough to fuel my workouts, to fuel my body. On those days that I run more, I'll eat more. I'm hungrier anyways. So that's kind of the takeaway from this. Running does not have to shrink your butt and burn away all your muscle. You have to do it the right way, and you have to have a balance between everything. I hope this video was at least a little bit helpful for you. I don't know, maybe it was boring. Was it boring? Oh God. If it was boring, just comment and tell me that it was boring, because I need to know.